Hello everyone and welcome to Belle Isle, just across the river from downtown Detroit, Michigan. We are here at Belle Isle on the raceway at Belle Isle. That's the third time already I've said Belle Isle, but we are here at this very neat little street course that unfortunately real life IndyCar does not run on anymore. But as always, Mike Robinson is back up here in the booth. Hello Mike, how are you doing today?
2 weeks ago, my guy. I will not lie.
I'm glad you recovered from was it COVID you had going on, Mike?
Man, I can't tell you whether it was COVID or bronchitis or both at the same time.
Well, at least I'm glad you're back with us. This week it's me feeling a little under the weather, so I'm gonna let Mike cover most of the race. But here's the quick overview: 16 lap races today, one in the midday and one in the late afternoon. As always, standing starts, and the top 10 will be inverted for the race 2 starting grid. If all goes to plan, that is. If you remember the first race, that didn't really go to plan, but it did last 2 weeks ago at the Nürburgring, where we saw two very exciting little sprint races, one of which was extremely chaotic towards the latter stages, with Luis Núñez charging hard and unfortunately falling short for a second straight win in that event. Of course, that win went to Kaur Stout, who is not racing here today. He is over in the US testing a USF 2000 car. Unfortunately, no VOR stickers on the thing, but hopefully he's having fun out there and he will be back with us hopefully next week. But currently qualifications underway. And I'm watching Luis Núñez.
Let's see. So far, we haven't had anybody put a time in. We should be having our first ones come across the line here any minute.
So another thing before we get going, and I'm very excited to show this, and hopefully it does work. Want to thank Andrew a lot for doing his part on the overlay. And here it is. Manufacturers are finally on the overlay. It only took us about 7 months, but we are finally here. Manufacturers for all the drivers in the field today. We'll walk you through whatever the drivers have picked. Of course, this does not make any difference to the performance of the cars in iRacing, because the car is exactly identical for every single one of the drivers. So it does not matter if you pick a Chevy or a Honda. It is not even an official option in iRacing, but we have been able to add it to the overlay for a little bit of extra realism on the broadcast. So for example, Luis Núñez here is driving a Chevy. So are all the VOR Altena Autosport cars, and then we have the first of the Hondas for Team Watson Racing, as well as Jack James, who is one of the independent drivers in the field. And then also the Yacarapagua Racing. That's a very difficult name to pronounce because I'm not Portuguese, or Brazilian for that matter. But Matthew Levine in the number 9 Honda, which you would associate with Scott Dixon, but it's Matthew Levine in the Sprint Series. As Liam O'Sullivan goes across the line for a 1:12.8. For provisional pole, Jarno Kausch up to second.
Let's see. Matthew Levine is sitting third with 13.2. Kyle just set a 15.3. Alexander is that Rogenbach?
I think, yeah.
Okay. I was about to say, and he's come in with a 15.9. So we're gonna see some pretty big gaps here. I don't know how many of these guys are coming over from the Texas race. So we'll see. We'll see a pretty spread out field, I think, in these two races.
Yeah, you'll have a few people towards the back of the field as well. Most importantly, I think to mention is Dan Enge. He is learning the road and street courses very much. I want to say, I don't want to say learning quite, but trying to gain a bit of extra speed. Dan usually races on the ovals more often than on the road courses, so he's got some speed to find on these kinds of circuits. And joining the Sprint Series here this week for preparation ahead of Saturday's race, which I will also be participating in the main IndyCar series.
You may get me to throw in 5 just to come run Belle Isle, since I'm not running it today. All right. I'm tempted.
Fine by me if you want to come along. As long as you're not a weapon out on the track.
Oh, I love this place. Me, a weapon around here? Nah, I want to have fun.
So in the meantime, Jack James goes up to third. We saw him start his lap a moment ago. Let's see if Nodibe Emo is out on the track. I don't think he is, so that I
He
believe
is
will
right now.
conclude. Oh really? Okay. Let's see if I
Yes,
can.
he's going through
Oh, there
the
he
quote
is.
unquote stadium section, as I like to call it.
Yeah, Nodibe is a late joiner for the session today. I doubt he will have the time to finish the lap because we only have 6 seconds on the clock. So time will run out, and he will start from the back of the grid on the final row along with Luis Nunez. Speaking of the starting grid, it is time to get going here for said starting grid. As we pull up the graphics here, Mike, if you want, take us away for the starting grid.
All right, so P1, we've got Liam O'Sullivan. P2, Yarno. God, how do you say his last
Oh
name?
god, oh god, did it happen again? Did it happen again? Did it happen again?
What happened again?
Or is my graphic just wrong? I really hope my graphic is wrong.
Oh,
I loaded the
oh
same
no.
preset as last week, as 2 weeks ago. This is not my fault.
Oh no. So Liam's gonna P1, Yarno P2, Jack James P3, Matthew Levine P4, Patrick Silvasi, I'm sorry, P5, Alaric Vandenbos P6, Robin Pogdahl with coming up in P7, Kyle is that Gretsch? Is that how you say his name?
Yes,
Uh,
Kyle Gretsch.
P8, Alexander Roggenbach, P9, Dan Ench, P10. I'm so sorry about that, Dan, if I butchered your name. Luis Nunez did not put in a time and is starting P11, and Emil is coming in at P12 with no time as well. I think they both kind of scraped the wall, so we're going to see them bringing up the back of the field. So I can't wait to see how these guys handle the standing start here because never seen one here before.
Okay, so the standing start is set up correctly. So it is Liam indeed on the pole. So we had a bit of a scare, but we're good. I was just freaked out because my grid was showing up wrong on the overlay. So
Oh,
yeah,
that is perfectly valid.
Mike got the starting grid right. So I believe all drivers are on the field, on the grid. So I think this is the first time I've ever seen a standing start on Belle Isle. So let's go for 16 laps here in race one. Mike, you can take us away for the green.
Alrighty, so they should be revving them up here pretty quick. Green flag and they're away. Liam gets a great start. Oh man, who is this shooting the middle? Oh, turn one, turn two. Oh boys, this is gonna be crazy.
And the field off and
What a
away.
what a start from Liam.
There's Matthew Levine looking to the inside of Jack James. Defending from Silvasi.
Here we go. Alrighty, so Jack James bringing up in third. Vanden Boss is actually could try something here, but it looks like they're gonna bide their time. Man, I can't tell you how much I love this track and watching these guys run it.
It's definitely one of the more fun street courses to drive. I personally prefer it over Long Beach, which I will probably get hated for, but it's much more flowing than Long Beach in my eyes.
Oh, I'm probably gonna get crucified for it too, but I tend to agree. I was really sad when they left here. But these guys are definitely bringing out what Belle Isle used to be, and that's just some good racing right off the bat.
Speaking of good racing, the top three within a second of each other. Couch and James on the push to pass.
Oh, and we've already got one heading into the pits. Yarno. Heavy left front damage. Oh, we've got another one sitting in pit lane as well.
That's Luis Nunez and Pagado in the pits. Couch is still running third. So yeah, we'll catch up in that in a second. Let's see. Replay here from the rear wing of Pagado. Just goes in deep and gets collected by Nunez, and I believe that was Noddy. And Kyle Gretsch and Dan Edge got collected in that too. So they done for 4 cars already.
I take that back. I said Yarno. Yarno is still out on track. Oops.
Yeah, that was Robin Pagano. That was teammate of Yarno. They
Oh,
have the same
okay.
livery. Yarno's
They
his
do.
name is on the rear wing, so I understand the confusion. But
I mean, they look like McLarens to me.
they sure do.
Oh, that's a bummer. But boy, Yarno is trying to run down Jack, but Jack is running down Liam pretty quick.
Yeah, this was on lap 2 whilst we were looking at the replays of the earlier incidents. This is Jarno Kausch going deep into turn 3, and Jack James pauses right to the inside for turn 4 and gains a spot. So that was a defense from Jack James to Jarno Kausch. As we go back to the front, Jack James chasing down the race leader, Liam O'Sullivan, who started from the pole and is under a bit of pressure.
Just a bit. Now, Jack just needs to keep it clean here and watch these walls because they will come up quick.
Liam is looking around!
Oh, wow! And that was something I was going to bring up in pre-race is you spin here, it's going to cause a traffic jam. Man, and as I say that, I'm looking at it, and it looks like Liam just caught that curb, and the bump caught him out.
Let's see if we can get an onboard view here. I think he locked the race. On the push to pass, late on the brakes. Yep. Locks the brakes, Pogo sticks it around.
Oh. And Liam was having a commanding lead there for a minute, but Jack gets by, just squeaks by with Yarno. And that opens the door for these back four. Oh, we can say back 5 here. All within the hunt. I mean, they're right there.
And the old Fox again at it. Alaric van der Bos got top 5s at Texas and also at Nürburgring last week, 2 weeks ago. And he is doing the same thing again. And Nodibe Emo from the back of the grid up to P6 now. So the good thing for Liam is he doesn't have any actual damage. He did brush the wall trying to loop it back around, but I don't think that will affect his performance by any amount. So he should be fine.
And that's the thing. Belle Isle is fairly bumpy, but it's not as bumpy as Sebring though.
So the gap from Alaric van den Bos to Nodibe Emo is about 5 seconds. Here he is, Nodibe Emo. Trying to close the gap to the top 5. But only 7 cars remain in the race and on the lead lap. So 12 laps to go and it's already been a chaotic start.
Chaos. That's Belle Isle for you, man. I mean, it's right on the lake too, so, or near a lake, I thought.
It's an island.
Yes. But it's very unique. I like to say this is our Canada, our Montreal.
Just a little bit more character in the racing surface.
Yes. Lots more character. We like character. This whole complex right here, this whole stadium section is one of my favorites. It's so reminiscent to Adelaide's stadium section, and I love it.
So Van den Bos. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, and one more lap completed for Jack here in the lead. It looks like he's starting to pull just slightly.
Wouldn't surprise me as well if Jack is trying to manage the pace as best as he can. Trying to keep the rear tires under control to avoid locking them up like Liam did a few moments ago. But
and it can happen.
Absolutely, it can. And Alaric van der Bos in the meantime chasing down Silvasi for P4. So Alaric is one of the drivers to keep an eye out on. And I'll say it again, by the way. I mentioned it at the start of the show. This week it's me feeling under the weather. I think Mike is still coughing a little bit as well. We'll try to cover it up as best as possible. But the flu and everything is going around, so please bear with us. We're trying to pull through this one. Hopefully next week we both feel a lot better. But we're glad to bring you coverage of this. If you're watching, feel free to put something in chat. We'll try to interact with you as best as possible without coughing whilst we speak.
That's why I have my drink here, so we're good.
Absolutely. I got the mute button ready as well, in case I need it.
Oh, absolutely. It's always good to have that mute button. Oh, man, like, let's see. Less than a second between Jack and Jarno and the next three behind him. You could almost throw a blanket over.
Yeah, the top two definitely pulling away from Sebastian Van der Bos now. From Levine, Sebastian Van der Bos right now.
Immel's he's hunting. He's hunting though. He's there. He's just got to get some good exits and he'll catch him up. I mean, it's not by much because he's P6 behind Van den Bos, and then Liam is hard pressed right now to get that to get those spots back.
Absolutely. But knowing Liam, I think he wouldn't really mind being in P7 at the moment because he will know that he's going to start the second race from P4 now. So there's no need to overdrive it. Of course, you still need to push and make up some points if you can.
Absolutely.
But going balls to the walls in this first race is not really what it's about now in this format.
No.
So he knows it as well to try and take care of the car, and he'll be just fine.
Oh, absolutely. Savasi's actually closed up that gap on the Vine. This battle for third is actually kind of heating up a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. Watching it right now from the side, the left side of, well, camera's right side anyway. And just listen.
Man,
just listen how careful Levine is on the throttle there through that bumpy section in the middle part of the lap.
oh yeah. You have to be, because those bumps are unforgiving, and that's why I was saying it's easy to lock them up in the corners, because a couple of corners on this track you hang your right front and it just locks.
And another thing that should probably also be added to that is a few people have said leading up to this race that Belle Isle feels bumpier than usual for some reason. And maybe that's just their muscle memory being removed from not driving this track for a long time, or maybe it is the case. I'm yet to experience it for myself because I'm yet to put in practice laps for Saturday, but a number of these drivers, like Salvazzi, like O'Sullivan, and I was going to say like Ench, but he's already out, they will already have a few laps under their belt in this series. But of course the main event, the main course meal is coming up in about 2 days time here. Of course tomorrow we have the DW12s at Michigan International Speedway. Just however many miles up from which direction is it, Mike? It's a good question for you.
It's not far. It's you know what? Now you're actually going to get me going to look it up. Let's see.
We need to have something to talk about. The distance to Michigan International Speedway. I'll go on in the meantime though. So we got the Michigan 200 coming up tomorrow in the DW12s. Gary Gottsman and Kyle Clanworth will be on the call for that tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central European time. And then the day after that on Saturday, the mentioned IndyCar Series race, the main series race here from Belle Isle as well.
Okay, so to answer your question, it is an hour and 41 minutes away. Just an hour up the road.
That's not a lot. What's also not a lot is the amount of push to pass Matthew Levine has left for 7 laps to go. He's got basically 10 seconds a lap to burn at this stage.
Yes, he does, and The question is he just going to sit here and ride and take a podium in race one? Or is he going to actually use it and get on it to close that gap and make a move for P2?
He's getting actually pretty close to Jarno Kausch now, who has dropped off the back of Jack James. So Jack James checking out with about 6 laps to go at the line right now. And Savassi also pulling away from Van den Bos, who I would assume has made an error somewhere. And now he's falling into the clutches of Nodibe Emmel for P5 in the race.
Yeah, this is actually going to get really good here at the end. This race one has been chaotic. I'm ready to see what the main race is going to hold for us here. Levine is actually closing in too.
It's been chaotic, but for the opposite reason as the Nürburgring races were. It's been chaotic for crashes instead of many dramatic passes.
Absolutely. And that's the thing about Nürburgring, though. Nürburgring always will put on a great race.
Yeah, Belle Isle not so much because it's more of a, obviously it's a street course.
Yes.
But it's also a real driver's track in a sense. Not that Nürburgring isn't, by the way, but in its own right, the bumps have really add a lot of character like we spoke about already. And it also makes it really hard to pull off late braking maneuvers because the track is just so bumpy. You cannot slow the car down off the racing line because it's not driven on regularly. And therefore it's not as smooth, so it makes it even more difficult.
Exactly, and I think one of the more difficult corners on the track is going to be turn 1, turn 2. Because you come out of that right-hander in turn 1, you're going up a slight hill, and you're cresting over coming out of turn 2.
Oh,
and
yes.
if you remember the infamous Corvette
car.
Yeah, way to go, Oriole. You wrecked the pace car, man. No, but
for what race was that again? 2018 or 19?
Man, it had to have been. I think it was 2019, but but as we said, the character of this track is definitely it, and that's what makes this track so much fun.
So with that out of the way, let's do a quick through the field. Whilst we have 5 laps to go, 4 coming towards the line. Following Jack James, started from the 3rd spot. Of course, that's also the lowest he ran. Now leading the race. Looking towards Jarno Kausch. Here he is. Currently 2nd and started in 2nd. Ran as low as 3rd for just a brief moment in his number 41 Chevy. Moving on to Matthew Levine, who has had a pretty interesting race so far. Chasing and defending and going back on the attack here now. Started from the 4th spot, currently 3rd, so not too many positional changes. We'll get there in just a brief moment though with Patrick Silvassi, but first up, we have actually Patrick Silvassi here in the list. Started from P5, currently running in the 4th spot, and then behind him it's Alaric van den Bos, who is also up 1 spot. Now, Liam O'Sullivan started from the pole, and of course, as you might remember, he locked the rears going into this very corner, which we are going in right now, and spun it around, dropped to 7th, and now is back up to 6th after another driver has dropped out. Nodibe Emmel is a lap down, so he is the positional change. We'll find out what happened to him in just a moment. But Nodibe Emmel did start from the back of the field, and like I mentioned, is running 7th. Was running 6th. Until something happened to him, which we'll find out probably right about now. Chasing Alaric van den Bos. Going really wide here. Oh, hits the curb and, yeah, rear ends it on the exit out of the final real corner anyway.
Oh, no.
Let's take an on-board look with him here. So, yeah, he clips that curb here. And it bottoms on the bump on the exit. And there's just no way once you lose it there that you can save it. So yeah, Noddy had to tow it, get some repairs done, but luckily for him the tow wasn't that long, and he's back out in P7 as we mentioned. But could have been a position or 2 better for him if he didn't make that mistake, unfortunately for him.
Yeah.
So back to the front of the field, 3 laps to go. It is Jack James still out in front of Jarno Kausch, and Matthew Levine 1.3 seconds, 1.2 seconds back from Jarno Kausch himself. And that is the closest battle on the racetrack at the moment. As Van der Bos is burning through some push to pass, trying to go for his personal best lap time, I would assume. There he is in the old VOR Claren livery, as we call it within the league.
My gosh. As I was getting ready to speak, I got a little bit of a coughing fit come on.
I got you, Mike. My cough has gone away a little bit now, so we're good. we even each other out.
Right? All right, this top three could really make something happen here, but they've gotta go. Levine is there. He can close this gap. He's just got to be smooth.
Yeah, just a little over a lap to go. In the meantime, Liam O'Sullivan with the fastest lap of the race, 1:13.8, the last time by. Robert Pagano has been turning laps after that incident on the first lap. He has passed Rogenbach, who has had an off himself as well. On that first lap, I do believe. Actually, it was lap 4 of the race. Here is that incident from Alexander Rogenbach.
And there it is.
Yep, just spun it around. So back to the lead. Final lap, white flag is in the air for Jack James.
And the gap is not much between these guys, almost even.
Yeah, it's about 8 tenths from car to car. Onto the back straight for the final time. And this is the final real opportunity, if anything, for Jarno. But he's too far away, I think. And we will have 5 different winners in as many races. I completely forgot to mention this. Going into this race, every single race has had a different winner, and that trend is going to continue here today, at least for the first leg of the Belle Isle doubleheader.
Oh yeah. Well, Jarno just closed the gap just a little bit more. How much push to pass does he have left? Does he have enough?
It doesn't matter anymore because the final corners are upon us. Jack James is going to go to victory lane for the first time this season, and he is a race winner in the Sprint Series. Finishes first, and it's Jarno Kausch in second. Matthew Levine rounds off the podium, and Patrick Silvassi will hold on to that spot as well for P4. Van der Bos brings it home in P5. Great result for him. The old fox in the field, keeping his car out of the walls, which is the most important thing here around this track. And Liam O'Sullivan brings it home in P6, miraculously, after hitting the wall on the first couple of laps.
Absolutely.
So in the meantime, before the session switches over, the race results, Jack James wins it in front of Jarno Kausch and Matthew Levine. It's a 1-3 for Honda, and then the Chevy in second. Then we have another Honda of Patrick Silvassi. Alaric van der Bos is the second Chevy in the top 5. Then we have Liam O'Sullivan, Nodibe Emmel, Robin Pagado, Alexander Rogenbach, and Kyle Gretsch rounding off the top 10 as the field switches over for race number 2. So let's see if we have someone in the Discord. In the meantime, I'm gonna also reload the overlay, so we can show the beautiful race results for the second race here in about 30 minutes once the second race is done. Here we go. All set and ready to go for race 2. So let's see if we have Jack James with us, and it seems that we do. Hello, Jack. Congratulations on your race win. If I am not mistaken, I am pretty sure this is your first career victory in the Sprint Series, so congratulations on that. Just tell us about how you survived that was it lap 2? That incident over there in the fountain section, and then how you held on to the win.
Yeah, I was sort of expecting to have to really be playing catch up with Liam because, he's been so quick in practice. And then I was speaking to him just now. He said he he locked the rear wheels and then saved it, and then there's a bump just off the apex, which he then hit, which then spun him round. And then I was a bit sort of like, oh, which way do I go? But managed to avoid it. But then, yeah, it was really sort of a tire management race from there, really.
Yeah, I kind of figured out what's going on. You did a great job protecting those rear tires. Do you think Jarno could have had anything for you with a lap longer of a
Well,
race?
I think it was really close because I pulled away from him in the mid section of the race, and then towards the end, there was a lap where he pulled like a second back on me. So I was a bit like, I have to really try and find the rest of the life in these tires to get it to the end. And there was a couple of moments I had on the way to the line, but I managed to secure it anyway, so I'm over the moon.
Yeah, kicking out the rear on these bumps, aren't you? Mike, you got anything for him?
Just do your thing, man. That was awesome to watch. And yes, the bumps here will catch you out, as we saw with Liam. How much space did you have between you and Liam going around him when he spun?
Well, yeah, so obviously he spun, and then it was sort of like whether I was going to take my front nose cone off. I mean, it was really, really close because he went sideways and he just locked the brakes completely. He slowed up a lot quicker than I would have thought. And then obviously I had the rest of the pack behind me. So it was a bit like, oh, which way do I go? Which way do I go? Because I didn't know if he would spin back round or if he would stay where he was or anything. But yeah, I mean, it was a hairy moment, but obviously we didn't make contact, so that's obviously good.
Yeah, and we saw how he bottomed out there. And were you having any of the same issues with coming close to bottoming out, or hearing the car slam into that corner?
Yeah, I the whole time, I keep thinking, especially down the front straight, I keep thinking that I'm hitting the wall or something, but it's just the bottom of the car constantly, just scraping the bottom of the racetrack. And it's mainly in qualifying really where I've struggled, especially through turn two. The front tires are still really cold, and it's so easy to just understeer out. So especially the first couple of laps, it's really difficult.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna leave you to it, man. You go get your practice in for this second race, and we'll hope to see you back at Victory Lane, man.
Cheers, thank you guys.
Yep, best of luck for race 2, Jack.
Thank you.
So, in the meantime, I did pull up the replay here to look at how close it really was for Jack James. So we'll speed it up here if I can find the right replay controls first of all. So here's it in real time. So here's Liam O'Sullivan just up ahead. Locks the race, hits the bump, and oh wow, that's really close.
Was
wow.
it?
I have to get a different camera angle here from the top to really show the viewers here, but that was a lot closer than I originally thought. So yeah, as I mentioned, the clips the curve here, and this is very slow-mo. I was a bit enthusiastic on the slow-mo button, but I guess it works. So here's Jack just slowing down. He sees Liam just up in front of him, and if we can,
Yeah. Whew.
yeah,
That was close. Oh my God.
that's
I don't.
netcode danger zone territory right there.
Yes, and I'm doing some ghost laps, and I see what happened. Like I tried recreating it, and I can't do it. Liam locked them hard, and when you go into that apex, you feel that bump hard. So I could see where it would have thrown Liam around, but to give Jack and
Liam?
gosh, who was it behind him? Jack and Jarno had hardly enough space to get through that. That is wild.
The field is switching over for race number 2, and I'm gonna do something real quick, just in case. There we go. So hopefully, if all goes to plan, I should have something else to play with in the race with cameras. But as I mentioned, the field gridding up for the second race. Mike, if you don't mind, take us away for the starting grid again, because iRacing perfectly displays the starting grid for this second race.
Alrighty, so it's going to be looking like we're going to have... Holy cow, who is our leader here? Alright,
Mike, never mind. We might not have the time for this, actually, because everyone's already gridded up.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I was trying to... And there they go.
Great start for Pagano. Liam O'Sullivan around the outside as well.
Oh, a little bit of blinking issues right there at the start.
Here's Silvassi tries to pick his way through the pack. Oh, and look at Luis Nunez all the way up the inside of Jack James. Oh, there's contact. Alaric van der Bos around, and Matthew Levine, I believe, is in that too. As well as your race 1 winner, Jack James. And yeah, there's just, too many cars involved. Oh, that was almost bad.
Oh, no. Matthew Levine's got some damage here. Dan got through all right. Okay.
Let's see if we can find out what happened here, really. So here's Luis Nunez going to the inside. And then there's Matthew Levine going in a little bit deep on the brakes, and Van der Bos was just taking his line. Probably didn't see him coming and just turned in blind for the corner, not expecting any moves there. And that caused the whole chain reaction there. Let's see if we can find it from Alaric's rear view, if I can go there real quick. Let's rewind it a little bit further. So yeah, here we are watching from the rear wing of Alaric. And there's Matthew Levine a long way back trying to make the pass on Silvassi. I think Levine braked so late that he just had to go for it, and of course the gap wasn't there. And that set off the whole chain reaction as you saw here. With multiple cars involved, that's pretty much half the field involved.
Yeah, and that's exactly back to what I was saying with when this track gets clogged, it becomes a traffic jam. Liam O'Sullivan is right back into second place. He's hungry for that win.
Absolutely, and in all of that, Luis Nunez is up to 4th, Rogenbach is 5th, Dan Ench is running in 6th, by the way, as well, avoiding all the chaos there, so hopefully for him he can have a better race than he did around 20 minutes ago.
Oh man, you could throw a blanket on these top 3 right now. And lap 1 is complete. Liam is still hard charging right now.
That was already lap 2, Mike. That was lap 2 already. Laps click by really quickly here, I don't blame you.
Yes, already going into lap 3, you can see if Liam can get this P1 back, because I would have felt bad too. I would have been upset if I'd have spun like that in that first race. But he's pressing.
100%.
Oh. P3 just tapping the wall just a little bit. Emil. And then Nunez is closing that gap. He is hungry like the wolf. He wants it.
And Luis has had a bit of a hit and miss season all the way through, really. He had 2 bad races at Texas whilst he was running at the front. Then Nürburgring race 1 he won. And then he was involved in an incident in the second race which dropped him down the order. He still finished P4 if I remember correctly. But not the season he was hoping for, at least for now. As Latibe Emil is now under pressure from Luis Nunez, who I don't think will wait too much longer before making a move.
No, I don't think so. And Liam right now is picking his moves and when to make it. And, oh, here we go. Well, I was about to say, oh, here we go. It looks like he's going to dive out, but he was too far back. Respectable, Liam. You know, I would be kind of shocked if we saw a Danny Ricciardo switchback pulled here. It would take a lot of talent to do it, especially through the bumps.
Latibe Emil looking to the inside of Liam, not close enough to mount any challenge into that braking zone, but he is showing himself in the mirror, and Liam knows it.
Yes. And Nunez is making his presence known in Emil's mirrors as well.
So the race for the lead with 4 cars at the moment.
This is
Whoa.
what we like to see. Oh my gosh, you can't get any closer to that wall.
Big slide off the corner here for Robin Pagano, who won the first Texas race.
This is awesome, boys. This is what we like to see. This is the kind of racing that I love that Belle Isle puts on.
Oh, Luis to the inside. Oh,
No!
Luis goes around, and Liam
Oh
O'Sullivan
no!
around as well on Robert Pagano for the lead of the race. Liam to the lead. Emil and Nunez, though, come together in turn 3, and Nunez gets the worst of it, but that was a very opportunistic move by the Nexus eSports Chevy.
It was. I mean, he saw it, he went for it, and oh my God! And this is what I mean. Belle Isle can get some really exciting racing going on, and that's exactly what we got.
Yeah, goes in way too deep on the brakes. He really has to slow it down. You can see him locking up. Just
It
overshoots
looked
the corner, and
it
there's the
looked like
contact.
he just locked up just slightly going in as well. Oh
Yeah, he
man.
did. He just overshot the corner and had to slam on the brakes and lock the brakes as a result. Yeah, nothing Nodiba Emil really did wrong there.
Yeah, it was just I'm going for it, and we gotta go. I applaud him for trying. It was an A for effort, but execution was a not so good. But this now just opens it up for Liam to walk away from Robin as long as he stays away from the wall and doesn't scrape it and kill his momentum. Liam is gonna walk away with it.
Absolutely, he's already got 2.2 seconds in hand as well, and we just saw that move. Just drove clean around the outside of Robin there. That was an awesome move, and you saw in the background as well, just all the chaos erupting.
Oh yeah, no, like, and to make a move around the outside of Belle Isle is difficult. As Liam gets a little bouncy going through the stadium.
Mike, do you know of this GIF of this yellow anime character just running in a field of mines and just the mines exploding in the background and the yellow
Yes,
character running? That was Liam O'Sullivan passing Robert
yes,
Pagano.
yes, yes, absolutely. Liam already completing lap 6, going into lap 7. We've got about 12 more laps here, and this is gonna be fun. It's going to be fun to see him march away and see if Robin can pull it back in. Our next closest battle well, never mind. I thought that was a close battle, but looks.
Something has happened to Nodiba Emil though. Did he quit perhaps? Let's really
I
fast
think
forward
so.
this. So this is towards the end of lap 5, and okay, yeah, Nodiba Emil pits here for that front wing repair. So that explains why he is now all of a sudden behind Dan Enge. Dan Enge just logging laps in preparation for Saturday's race. Wouldn't expect a big challenge from him towards Nodiba Emil, who we know has a pace advantage over Dan Enge. Dan Enge going a little defensive though, I like to see that. Not being too aggressive about it, not defending too hard. He is still running his own race, but he is definitely not moving over for him, which is good to see. And now we have Jarno Kausch in the mix as well, so this is a three-way fight for P6.
Oh, look at that! Look at that exit!
Yeah, great run off the corner by Emil.
Oh, we could see 3 wide here. No, Dan backs out. That was smart. Let them boys fight, and you be there to capitalize. Pounce on it.
Yeah, Dan Enge is running his own race for the Alzheimer's Association logo featured car. I don't want to say sponsored because they don't sponsor us. Dan actually is a frequent donator and supporter of the Alzheimer's Association, which brings me to something I should probably mention as well. The Alzheimer's Association has been a name sponsor from Dan Enge actually. Dan Enge has been the driver behind that in promoting awareness for the Alzheimer's disease and other dementia as well. So if you go to alz.org, you can find a button to donate, and if you have anything at hand anyway, even if it's just $5 or anything, any small amount helps in research for Alzheimer's disease and as I mentioned, other dementia as well. So Yeah, once again, alz.org is the place to go. You can also get some more information over there on that website. It's a great bunch of people who, of course, raise money for a great cause. So if you have any spare change, so to speak, please consider donating it, because the people definitely need it as well. And of course, the drive for the cure, I guess you could call it as well. But
oh man, Matthew Levine, what a move through the stadium section!
just missed that, but we'll catch a replay. Here it is.
Oh.
Yeah, just a bad exit for Rogenbuck, and I think he didn't really challenge him either. It just lets him go because he knew that his exit wasn't great. And Levine throws it up the inside with a pretty neat pass. And it is a great move because it's in a risky spot.
That is a very risky spot to make some passes like that, because that is not a place you really want to be passing unless you can make it work. Because he just went for it. I didn't see the bad exit, but man, when I seen the lunge and he go for it, he went.
Rogenbuck has got M off the company as well now, down the back straight. Oh yeah, he just lets him go. Yep, just letting the next two cars go. Rogenbuck just going for a finish. Probably racing the track rather than other people. And that moves up Emil and Couch to P5 and P6.
Absolutely. Dan has also let Savasi go through as well. So these guys are definitely, that are letting these guys pass and just going for a finish, are definitely looking to just log laps. Because this race is difficult. It will be killer on your arms by the end of it, because it's bumpy.
For sure. And Luis Nunez, the gap is now 2.2 seconds to Robin Pagano. So the battle for second surely not over yet either. And just look at him ripping those bumps.
Yeah, because Liam is in a whole different area code. He is said later, boys. And he's just now coming back across the line to complete lap 10 and starting lap 11.
Yeah, let's go on board with Liam here for just a brief moment. Give Liam some airtime as he is dominating this race. So yeah, just send it around the outside of Robert Pagano in turn 3 whilst all the chaos was erupting behind him. And hasn't looked back like you mentioned. So just a great performance by Liam, just gapping the field. 8.3 seconds is the difference now. And he is just completely in his own state of mind, as he was almost doing an Ayrton Senna tunnel vision there, hitting the wall, but I don't think that's going to impact his performance there by anything. So Liam just running away with it. Just needs to remember, he's only got about 5.5 laps to go. He's got an 8.5 second lead. He does not need to push it if he... Okay, never mind, he's just doing it. Kicking the rear end out again.
He's got that Max Verstappen mentality. I just gotta go.
I wonder if we're gonna see some Austria-style burnouts where he just slows up across the start-finish line and just burns it down across the line.
If we don't, I'm gonna be mad.
I did that at Spa one time, where I dominated the league race in the ESRA IndyCar Series a few years ago. It's on the National Racing Network somewhere. But
oh, wow.
That was my Verstappen-esque performance as well in that race. Wouldn't surprise me if we see something similar, but Liam is Team LH. So,
hey, that's my boy. We already know Lewis Hamilton's the man. He's the GOAT.
Liam and I still get along, even though we support different drivers.
Oh no, I'm starting to be sussy about you, dog. But no, like, and that's the thing, like, each series has their own
Hold on,
person.
Mike, hold on. Move for second. Robin Pagano goes out really wide out of the corner leading up to the back straight. Luis Nunez right there with him, both on the push to pass. Louis sending it on the inside, late on the brakes.
And he made it complete. Luis, what a pass. Using that push to pass on the outside, though, for that defense, man, that's bold. But I would have done it too. But man, Luis gets it done.
Yeah,
What a move.
Luis feels so confident under the brakes. Sometimes a little too confident, like we saw in turn 3 a handful of laps ago. But once he makes it stick, it's fantastic. Same with that move at Nürburgring 2 weeks ago, where he did overshoot the corner. He did make the corner actually, but he just went in really deep. But that just shows how confident he is, and he's not afraid to make these late braking maneuvers. Very Ricardo-esque from his old Red Bull days. So I guess we can call him Luis Ricardo Nunez from now.
Honey Badger Jr.?
Potentially. Luis might be just as old as him, though. I don't know much about Luis, but I don't think he is one of the younger guys in this series. At least
No.
that's not what he's showing, really. Very mature guy, so I would expect him to be in close or near the 30s. At least.
Let's put it this way. Skill knows no age.
That's very true as well.
Skill knows no age. Man, he just takes the stadium section so smooth. So smooth.
So here we go, 3 laps to go for Liam O'Sullivan. In the number 12, did not want to be Chevrolet, but he is a Chevrolet for Altena Autosport. Looking for his second win of the season, and he will break the win streak of 5 different winners in as many races this season, which just shows the competition of the series. If you want to get involved, you can join the Discord link in the description. We have 2 more rounds to go at Monza and Interlagos on December 12th and 19th. 12 lap sprints for Monza and 50 lap sprints at Interlagos. It's free to enter, so if you are free on Thursday evenings at 9 p.m. Central European Time, or if you're in the US at 2 p.m. Central, feel free to come along. It doesn't matter if you are a very experienced road racer or not, as long as you can keep the car out of the wall or on the track in general, then we are very much welcoming you to join the series. Of course, the DW12s tomorrow at Michigan, as we mentioned earlier. Gary Guzzo and Kyle Clanworth will be on the call for that, and as well for Saturday's Detroit Grand Prix, the SKS Graphics Grand Prix of Detroit, who are the developers for the overlay. And in case you didn't know this yet, the manufacturers are new, they've finally been added, they work, which is the most important thing as well. And whilst we were talking about the overlay, let's show the Team Watson Racing Honda as well for Patrick Silvassi. In the 9th position, 5 laps down, but still circulating, as he was one of the guys involved in that earlier incident in turn 3. Coming to start lap 15 now for Nadiba Emmel in the Honda Ferrari, the VOR iRacing. As
God,
that's an interesting combination, isn't it?
That's a conundrum. That's a conundrum. What is it, a kit car?
I have no idea, but Jarno Kausch looking for the move into 3, but not quite close enough for anything. Both drivers kicking up some grass and dirt on the exit of turn 3, into 4 and now into 5. Bit of a brush on the wall for Noddy. As down the back straight we will go. Liam O'Sullivan takes the white flag in the meantime for 1 lap to go.
Oh man, just be smooth, Liam, and you got this one sealed up. Hell, he should have swept this today's races, but like we saw what happened. This place can catch you out if you're not paying attention to it.
Couldn't have said it any better. Luis Nunez, though, definitely has the pace advantage on Liam. The gap has gone from 8.5 to 6.0 seconds in a lap and a half time. So Luis Nunez and Liam O'Sullivan, the class of the field today, as these two, Nadiba Emmel and Jarno Kausch, also take the white flag. We will switch our attention to Liam O'Sullivan, who has a few more corners to go. And he will be our first repeat winner here in the Sprint Series. 2 more corners to go for the number 12 Chevy. From the UK, Liam O'Sullivan. is going to go to victory lane here in Detroit, race number 2. And there he is. Race win is in the bag for Liam. Great performance by him. Kept his nose clean with a great pass in turn 3 as well. And there is a happy weave down the back straight as Luis Nunez comes across the line to take the second position. There he is coming to a stop.
Oh man, Liam put on a masterclass, didn't he? Liam put on a masterclass, my man. There it is. There's the burnouts.
The race is not over though in the back. Let's not forget, Nodibe Emel still trying to defend his top 5 classification from Jarno Kausch. Final corner for those two as well. And it's official. Nodibe Emel finishes ahead of Jarno Kausch to complete the top 5. Rogenbach is still circulating in 7th as well. Dan Ensch, a lap down, finishes 8th. Patrick Silvassi is about to finish 9th. And Alaric van der Bos just comes across the line as well for a top 10 finish, albeit 7 laps down. So great result by the top 5 who kept their nose clean and finished well.
Yes, he did.
So let's bring up your race results from the Michigan International Speedway. Liam O'Sullivan wins it in front of Luis Nunez and Roman Pagano. It's a Chevrolet 1-2-3, so a complete podium sweep. Then completing the top 5 are the 2 Hondas of Mathieu Levine and Nodibe Emel. Jarno Kausch, Alexander Rogenbach and Dan Ensch complete the top 8. Dan Ensch the first car a lap down. Then Patrick Silvassi is classified as out, but finishes P9 about 5 laps down. And Alaric van der Bos completes the top 10. Moving on to the next page of results. It is the 2 final finishers of Jack James, the race 1 winner, and Kyle Gretsch, the first retiree of the race.
Oh.
What happened?
Your cough about got me.
I'm fine, I promise.
And as I say something, and it catches me. God, I gotta learn to keep my mouth shut, man. But man, this race, I'm telling you, man, Belle Isle, like I said before, has always put on great racing, and that's what we got. I'm really impressed with how much, how good the racing was in both of those races, man. Couldn't be happier.
All right, let's see if we can talk to Liam. And I have to drag the person and not the channel to the other channel. Hello, Liam. Congratulations on your second win of the season. Just tell us about your move around the outside in turn 3 and your domination there to the end.
So I didn't bottle it. Number 12, Velocity Online Racing, hand in hand. Number 12, Chevrolet convertible Honda was really good all day long. Race 1, the driver was the issue, but yeah, it was about managing that at the end. Nearly got spun out on my outside move, but I think Robin was just a bit slow on the brakes. I was catching him a load into that corner every single time, so when he left the outside open, I was like, right, I'm just going to send this, and if I end up in the wall, then at least it's not Saturday's race. And yeah, it all worked out in the end. Shame about we had, I think, 2 messes on the start, which is not the greatest of things to see, but hopefully that could be rectified into Interlagos, and hopefully moving forward into next season where got some big things planned.
Absolutely, and I have to ask, although the track temperatures were quite a bit cooler here, is there anything that you can take away into Saturday's race in your title bid against, Jesper Orman, who won't be here, but anything you can take into Saturday's race without giving too much away, obviously?
I think I know I was going to be going into this. This is a great track for me, and it's one I really gel with, and especially it being a straight track, it really plays to my strengths. Obviously, that being kind of my discipline, road racing kind of background. So, again, it's a shame not to see Jesper for whatever reason on Saturday, but in a way makes my life a bit easier. I think realistically, if I can get a top 5 on Saturday and then a top 5 at Vegas, I think I'm quite kind of untouchable then. So that's the aim. I know we've got quite stout competition on a road course for once, coming in with some particular names who have done a lot of stuff in real life with some rather eye-watering iRatings that I'm sure will be very strong. So hopefully I can match them, get a solid result on Saturday and Friday in the DW12s, and continue this strong momentum that doesn't seem to want to break at the moment.
Well, we'll be watching your progress in those last 2 races, and I'm sure I can give you a helping hand as well in perhaps finishing ahead of some IR cars. Hopefully, if I can have the pace
Yeah,
to back you up a little
you
bit. But
you don't turn right on ovals into walls.
very very fair. You should probably tell that to the people who wrecked me the last couple weeks. But
That's why I'm speaking to you.
right, okay. Hey, at least we don't have to worry about a teammate not being on the Discord anymore and just washing
Yeah.
up the track out of turn 2 in Phoenix.
Well, like I said, my number 12 Honda felt great today. So
That's the most important
yeah,
thing.
hopefully it remains that consistent and doesn't have any plenum issues like it did at Indy.
Just don't bottle it like you did in the first race, and you'll be fine.
Oh, that was tactical.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, I said it was.
I mean, you
Tactical
called it.
P7
Damn it.
finish. Tactical
What
P7.
happened is I locked the rears going onto the back straight, and there's a bump like about a meter and a bit off that curb that obviously you don't run there because it's so far off the apex. So when I had saved it, I hit this massive bump and it just spun me round again. And then obviously I kind of had to drive backwards into traffic because I couldn't really spin the car around properly in where I was.
And that's what I was telling Julien, is if you get spun here or you spin, you're just a roadblock.
Yep, and that's kind of the position I was in. Jack luckily didn't hit me, and the 2 Brits managed to sweep the wins tonight.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't think you realize how close it really was. I mean, we went and looked at it from an outside view, and there was not much room for error.
Yeah, but anyway, it was a good round. Obviously, like I said, the starting crashes were a shame, but hopefully 2 entertaining races. I don't think they quite match the level of Nürburgring, but hopefully Interlagos takes us back to a strong ending of the season, and yeah, an expanded, hopefully bigger grid and bigger schedule for next season will be the aim.
Absolutely. So, Liam, if you can just stay with us for a few more seconds, because I'm in the process of updating the standings right now, then I can tell you where you are as well. But with Carol not being here, the 2 drop leagues being applied for him, the 2 drop races, I should say, 1 drop event, 2 races. Any thoughts already about just a championship run in the Sprint Series, or are you just focused on race by race still?
Obviously, the championship priority lies elsewhere. And as I know you like to say, I don't like winning my own league. So the thought is with the main series and obviously winning that, because I myself, I don't think coming into that really thought. I was thinking top 3 in that series would be a win, but to be in the position I am in that series is kind of insane to me. And it's about closing that out the way I have driven the second half of the season and not letting that slip.
So I can tell you, you are 3rd in the standings at the moment of the Sprint Series. Any championship is good to win. I'll just add to what you just mentioned. But Jarno leads it by 4 points over Karel, who is still right in the mix, and then you are 2 further points back, so 6 back from the lead. Now, and I have to mention, Karel's drop weeks have already been counted now. So even though those are already applied, the championship fight is still close. So best of luck for the final 2 rounds at Monza and Interlagos, and of course we'll speak tomorrow and Saturday for the DW12 and iRacing races. But as a commentator, I'll see you in a week's time from Monza.
Oh, you there?
Are you there?
Yeah, you might cut out. But yeah, to be honest, I forgot we had Monza. But because I'm rubbish there, so I like to forget about that track. But
Right.
yeah, hopefully will be a solid 2 rounds. And I mean, if I win this championship, then yeah, all good. But like I said, it's not my main focus.
Copy that. Well, we'll see you next week for the Sprint Series anyway from Monza.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, guys.
I think my mic just cut out again, didn't it? But anyway, at least the stream can hear me.
No, I had actually muted it.
Interesting. But at least the stream caught it, hopefully. Mike, that's going to wrap it up. Any closing thoughts about the races before I sign off?
That was fun to watch. I can't wait to actually be in the mix on Saturday.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for us here in the Sprint Series from Belle Isle. As we covered multiple times, we will be back here at Belle Isle in 2 days' time from these beautiful streets here on this beautiful course for the iRacing main series. Of course, the Sprint Series returns next week at Monza. For those who are interested in joining, we have 2 rounds to go. The series is free to enter, and so are the DW12. So if you want to get involved, just head over to the Discord and sign up. There's a $5 entry fee for the final 2 races of the iRacing IndyCar Series season. So for those who want to get involved in that, you can definitely do so as well. We'll have more news on the 2025 season schedules for the league as well. Coming in a few more, well, I guess we can just put it out next week. It is already on the Discord, I just don't have it ready. But we'll show it to you guys next week. Want to thank you, Mike, for sticking it out here with me as well on these very interesting races. Although we didn't see too much passing, they were interesting in its own right with accidents and all that stuff. So it was great nonetheless. Want to thank IFS Personal Financial Planning and Lovers Incorporated for being the sponsors of the entire league. Want to thank all the drivers for showing up and you guys, the viewers. We had Wagner in the chat. We had Sexy Waltrip. I'm not sure who that is, but glad to have you in the chat as well. And SJM Home Improvements. That's a very nice plug. I really applaud you for that. Just putting your business name as a channel name. That's great. But whoever is behind that, Sam UK, thanks for tuning in too. We'll see everyone in a week's time for the second last 2 sprints at Monza. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next week.
You too, man.